Hi,
Cheryl.
Delores in
Nice
Walt.
to meet you.
Well, can we just start?
Sure.
Yep, go.
You all
Just go ahead and introduce yourselves.
probably tired of seeing all these people tonight. I'm George Hotchkiss, and this is my wife Jackie Hotchkiss. We're 27-year Browntown residents, which means that we unofficially we're locals now since we've been here 25 years plus. And we're here to represent the Browntown Community Center Association. I'm sorry, I'm going to have to read some of this, but she's going to talk to you, if you don't mind. I'm the treasurer. She's the treasurer of the community center, and I'm one of the 3 trustees. So she's a real board member. I'm just a trustee. But we want to thank you for having us the opportunity here to present our request to you for financial support. Community Center provides local residents and other Warren County residents with a nice facility to conduct meetings, to hold social gatherings, and have festive events and other activities that strengthen the community bonds and unite the residents. And we also have a playground for the children. BCCA, which is the Browntown Community Center Association, also owns and maintains the Dr. Updike Museum, which is a favorite tourist attraction on the community center grounds. And also on the grounds we house the South Warren Volunteer Fire Department substation, which is right between the community center and the Updike building. And normally we have two apparatus in there. The center also provides for emergency shelter in cases of local disasters like floods and fires in the local area, which we've had, as you know. I think it was 2011, we had a large fire that took out 3,200 acres of Browntown trees up on the mountain. And we used the community center there to house and feed the firefighters who came in from everywhere, all over the country, local, federal, and state. We're all there. And as soon as the first puffs of smoke were seen, the Browntown women mobilized and had the firemen fed and housed in a flash. And they said they never had such a good treatment. So it was nice to have that building there and that facility, which can take care of so many people like that. And we have a lot of old elderly, like me, residents, that can make use of the center as a thermo center and a cooling center. Thermo in the wintertime and cooling in the summer. There has been an occasion where we had a heat index of 115 degrees last year, and in 2019. And we had the building open for the weekend so that people could come in and stay cool. Those who couldn't afford air conditioning, and then of course in the winter, those who can't afford the heat much, they would come in and stay warm. So we opened up the building. We just put in a couple of new heat pump systems, so everything's nice and cozy there. And by the way, we want to take this opportunity to thank the Warren County Sheriff's Department for coming by each day there and checking on the people, make sure they're all okay and well. So we're going to continue to monitor the weather conditions all this winter, and we'll check with the elderly to make sure they have adequate heat, and we'll also provide transportation for them if they can't find their way to the center. So we're a nonprofit organization, and we conduct fundraising activities, and we have donations given to us by the local residents. in the way of services and donations, for cash donations, to help us keep going. Last year's ongoing expenses totaled almost $20,000. Broken down, that generally that's the building utilities of about $6,000, maintenance of the building about $8,000, the insurance $3,000, and $1,000 to put out the newsletter, the Browntown newsletter. And by the way, we have a website. If any of you want to get on there and look at some of the pictures of the Browntown area, it's called browntowncommunity.com. So we have estimates for some repair work to be done this year. We've estimated about $1,000 to remove a tree that is situated too close to the emergency medevac helicopter landing zone. They're afraid the helicopters are going to hit this tree, so we have to take that tree down. And we also want to replace a lot of the rotted railroad ties that are bordering the building entrance flower garden, and take out a couple of trees that are potentially going to damage the building foundation. And then we have an estimate of about $600 to paint the inside of the community center. The rooms, the hallway, install a drop ceiling, and in the men's bathroom, restroom, and the women's restroom. So the total ongoing expense estimate and repairs for this year coming is about $21,600. And so this year we're going to request or ask the county board for an amount of $2,500 to help us offset that cost. And with that, I turn it over to I yield my time.
I just wanted to bring up a couple personal things about the Browntown Village. We're currently working on making it a historic district. We got a lot of new people moving into Browntown. As a matter of fact, we have just sold our house. And we had the opportunity of maybe moving to Salisbury, Maryland to be by the grandchildren. Well, we figure our family is right here, and we're going to stay. Cost fundraising expenses. We get most of that from the spring and fall yard sales. And we also open that up to families who needs food, clothing, or any furniture that is donated to us. They get first choice. If they need it, they can come and take it. We're doing a chili cook-off this weekend. We do our Red Bud Festival, Christmas Bazaar, breakfast and dinners, and this was our first year that we had a free vets dinner for any veterans, and we want to make this an annual event. Browntown people are like family, and we look out for each other. One family, I'm going to give you an example, that lives in Browntown. They have no heat, no water. They have a little portable heater, and that's one of my concerns for this winter. Are they going to be okay? And we will check on them. They live in an old trailer that's held together by duct tape. And you think, does anybody live under these conditions? Yes, they do. So we are there to help them as much as possible. Any food from any events that we have, we take it to them. George mentioned that we do a newsletter. That newsletter goes out to like 450 people. It's an 8-page newsletter, and it's also on our webpage. But like I said, Browntown's like family, and we look out for each other. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming in and visiting us.
And for all you do for there, and I know it's a lot.
Y'all do a lot. I see it, I know.
People have asked me, do I live at Browntown or at the community center? I said, well, I am down there at least every other day checking on it.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hi.
How are you today?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
I can always gripe, but I'm trying not to.
Great, great, great.
All right.
We're still alive, we're still here.
That's right, we're
On the
good.
right side of the dirt.
Yes, yes, yes. I'm Renee Hudnall, and thank you all for allowing me to come. And I think this is probably, I've been here since 2011. Used to come with Ed Wilkins, and he was the founder of Apple Valley Mediation Network. And I think he founded it in 1994. And so I've been coming quite a few years. He retired in 4 years ago, 2016. So I was chosen as the executive director, and I'm here. So with that being said, Resolutions Incorporated, formerly Apple Valley Mediation Network, we are an agency that provides mediation services for the community. We work with Shenandoah County, Warren County, and also over there in Delores with Page County. And we provide services for families who are going through divorce and separation. And what we do is we offer services for mediation, qualified mediators who are state registered, and they help families that are going through separation through the court system, separation, and have issues with custody, visitation, and support. And what they do is help bring families together. We do a presentation for a lot of the families, and we said we might love your children more than you because that's the point, because we want to bring people who are disagreeing to the table to say, let me put aside my differences and let me put the children first. That's the whole point, putting the children first, the needs of the children. And when you think about that, it is helping the children see, first of all, that their parents or caretakers love them enough to set aside their differences, and that they're willing to work, in spite of the fact that there may be hard feelings, that they may have struggles with, the relationship, that it may be some old, stuff that has happened that they can't get past, but the bottom line is they're saying, let's put the children first. And so we have the court system contract from Virginia Supreme Court. We have the contract to provide the coordination services for the mediators. And so in providing the coordination services, we have currently 5 mediators. We sometimes have 6, 7, whatever the case may be, but now we have 5 mediators, and each month we go into different courts. And we also do general district court, so it's not just juvenile domestic relations court, it's also GDC court. And we can provide mediation services for people who may be having disputes in the community, with the employer, whatever the case may be. Just trying to help people come to the table, set aside differences, and yet at the same time feel empowered so that a judge is not making the decision for them. That's the key, because we believe that the family members know what's best for the children, but mediation services is voluntary. So the adults know what's best for the children, moreover possibly than the judge, because the judge is going to just listen to the arguments that's presented, the facts that's presented. But it's just a short time, and people get nervous when they're speaking to a judge, and who knows what they miss. But at the same time, if you can come to the table, if you can start listening, you get these tools that can help people really learn how to communicate effectively in a lot of different arenas, not just within the home, but a lot of different arenas where there may be conflict. So it's just conflict resolution, and it's tools that we give through a co-parenting class. Also, these families that go through JDR court, they are also mandated to take co-parenting classes. And with the co-parenting classes that we offer, we give them the tools, and those tools help them learn how to communicate better with one another and be able to get to a place where they can come to the table and hopefully have better listening skills and learn how to set aside their feelings and put first thing first, and that's the love of their child, what is best for their child. And that's the hope that we bring to the community.
So how does this work if the parents are in front of the judge and he sees conflict, then he assigns?
Okay, so they go
Them
to
to
the
you?
court, they petition the court, and when they petition the court, we're referred cases from the court. Some of the cases that were referred, we always do a screening, I should say, all of the cases, we always do a screening for whether or not they're suitable for mediation. Because some cases have issues with domestic violence. And so our mediators have to be trained in that area to pick up on, things. Some actually have court orders where they're not able to be in the room, so then we can't even mediate those cases. But nevertheless, the clerks, they're the ones that refer the cases. Oftentimes, more and more, we're seeing it where if the families are not fully doing what they're supposed to do, because once they petition the court, then they have to go through the orientation, and the orientation talks about mediation, and it gives them the impact of separation and divorce on children. It's a presentation. And then after that, they meet with the mediator, and then once the mediator screens each individual to see if it's suitable based on the domestic violence questionnaire. And sometimes parents are still stuck and they still don't want to try mediation, and they haven't gone through the co-parenting class. And so with that being said, it's now more and more where the judges are saying, no, you give it a try. Make sure that you've gone through the co-parenting class, because that's a state law as well, a rule in the rules. So they have to do the co-parenting class, and then he wants them to try it, just try it, because he feels like they would know what's best for their children. Mm-hmm. And so, we're seeing that the judges are supporting us with the business of mediation services, and also the co-parenting piece as well, co-parenting class as well.
Well, I want to thank you for coming. I mean, we got about 10 minutes for everybody.
Okay.
But
I'm sorry if I've gone on.
No, don't be sorry at all. You haven't. One of the things that impresses me is I look for passion in people. And when somebody walks in without a piece of paper in front of them and tell me all of the stuff that you've said, that's a great thing.
Wow.
And I'm glad that you're passionate in what you're doing.
Oh, we are. I am. Definitely. Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you.
Hello, I'm Kim Crump with Blue Ridge Arts Council. I know a lot of you know the Arts Council and know me, and I'm here tonight to ask for our annual funding, which is $5,000 from Warren County, and we ask that you submit a grant to the Virginia Commission for the Arts in the amount of $4,500. It's called the Creative Communities Partnership Grant, which used to be called the Local Government Grant, but they had a fancy new name now. So it's a really great grant because it's money that our constituents have already paid in taxes to the state, and so it's an opportunity for us to bring that money back home and promote arts with money our taxpayers have already sent to Richmond. So give you the opportunity to double your money almost.
Now, when you say submit the grant, who does that?
Brandy, who
Brandy.
works
Okay.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say, I don't have any skills in grant. So this is,
Yeah.
You didn't read the fine print.
Yeah. So the commission has a lot of different grant opportunities. They have like touring assistance, and they have grants that work with educational things, residencies and things like that. But this is one of the few grant programs that, through all of the budget cuts since about 2008, it's one that they left alone consistently until Doug, about 3 or 4 years ago, they chopped $500 out of it. Every year they say we're going to put it back, but they still haven't. The state hasn't put it back. So that was money they kind of left untouched because they really wanted to have localities be able to help fund arts, and they wanted to be able to match that and pay it back for them.
Now, you're in the bank building, right?
Yeah, in the bank building. We're at 305 East Main Street, co-located in First Citizens Bank building. And we have a gallery space, and we also have a teaching space. We do about 8 different art shows a year. And in March, we'll have our student art show, which is always a really big show. We have about 250 pieces of art from local school kids, K through 12.
Are you going to expand from your the acrylics and pastels and watercolors and all that, are you gonna go into some sculpture and some,
Yeah, we always do.
okay,
Yeah.
just
Our calls are always
expanding the
for,
palette? so
yeah,
to
for
speak.
mostly, I mean, we've had some really great abstract shows and we've had some really super sculpture shows and
I know a lot of good people that work with you already.
all sorts of,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's good to see.
She has a good way of sucking people into helping out. She
Yeah.
gets me as a bartender and.
Fundraisers, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we've been around since 1988, and we also, in addition to the visual program we have been a resource for the schools. We used to partner more with the schools before the SOLs. I'm sure you remember us bringing all sorts of programs into
I
the
do.
schools, and in fact, the Arts Council was responsible for having the first elementary art teacher, Chris Stevens, in the schools because he came as a residency program through the Arts Council. And then eventually the schools hired him to be the sole art teacher for all 5 elementary schools. I'd like to report our numbers are a little better. We now have 2.5 for all 5 elementary schools, so we're getting there. And we do the summer concert series, June, July, and August, every Friday night. We have different music groups. That's one of our really popular things. that
Well
I think
attended.
we're well known
It's
for,
very well
attended. Yeah,
Yeah.
people look forward to it. It's just a really kind of a casual evening. You know, we sell water and popcorn. People often, after a lot of the festivals downtown, they're just happy to have something really low key. And then it's really good for the businesses downtown. Now that we have a lot more restaurants, people tend to go to the restaurants after the concert, and so it's a good thing.
Good. I don't have anything, do y'all? I mean, I like the Arts Council.
Yeah.
We know you,
Yeah.
I mean,
I always look at everything when I bank there, so I cut through your area and do it.
Okay.
I especially, I mean, it's amazing, and I look forward to when the K through 12 kids
Yeah.
get it.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
like that myself.
Yeah.
That's when I.
They are
Yeah.
so talented. I love seeing that.
Yeah, it inspires a lot of our regular artists. They love to come see the kids work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
thank you so much, Kim.
Thank you,
Thank
Kim.
Thank you.
I hope y'all aren't going to be here till 2:30.
No.
Okay.
We're hoping.
3, okay. Thank y'all so much.